Welcome back, guys.
Did you get the butt cream?
Stop. I was about to start such a good intro, and it was going to be so good, and then you did that. All
See,
right.
Caleb, I know you're lying because you can't do good intros.
Hey, guys. Welcome back to the weekly recap show, where we are going to go over episodes 25 and 26 today. We have Jacob back, our DM, as always. We have Brady this week, who plays Zaigon. We have got Zach, who is our head moderator, currently still a guest on the show, apparently. And then we have myself. Alright, so this week we're just going to go through episodes 25 and 26, and then we're going to have a couple conversations afterwards, just on some of the things that happened throughout the episodes. So basically 25, we start off it's called Dead or Arrest. What happens throughout the episode is the group kind of gets together in the morning in our guild hall, and this is the day where we're supposed to go in and actually arrest Grinsbale, who is the master of war in the city government for Iman, and we're going in to arrest him because he is committing treason against the city. There's a lot of evidence that we have against it. We also find out that Animas that morning is visited by the Baylor, and the Baylor tells him that if he is not able to take Tabitha's soul by the end of the day, then his soul will be taken instead. Jacob. We also know that Zaigon, for whatever reason, that is not known to the players, but is known to the audience. If you guys were watching that episode, he is not supposed to let Animas take the soul of Tabitha. He is going to need to stop at nothing, according to Fraz, to stop Animas from taking the soul. So, moving on in the day, a group of them head up, or a group of us, the Flagon Slayers, head up to... A group of the Flagon Slayers head up to look at Grinsbale's house. Zaigon, Braun, and Thea, I think, were the three who went. I don't know if anyone else went. But Zaigon heads in and is invisible, looks through Grinsbale's house, and then comes back out with some information, also making sure he leaves a window unlocked. And he does find incriminating evidence that does say that Grinsbale has been committing treason and trying to start wars within the city. And then we move on from there with them coming back to the guild hall, and we get set and prepared to head to Grinsbale's house, which is where we end the episode. We head into Grinsbale's house, Tabitha with us. She is actually leading us into this, helping us out, supposedly. And when we get into Grinsbale's house, we go through some secret passages. We get past some guards. We get into the house, and all of a sudden, he's already dead. His throat was slit, and the guards immediately are already rushing into the house when we got there. Tabitha was able to open a secret door, and everyone other than me got through the secret door without being noticed. And then I turned into a small mouse or rat, and Tabitha turned invisible. Right as the guards came in, they saw both of us, though. I got in Tabitha's pocket, and we ended the episode there. Moving on to the next episode, we started in episode the Tunnels and Treachery episode. We start with the group down in the tunnels below below Grinsbale's house. And they have to make their way through the tunnels as the city guard are looking for them. Me and Tabitha make our way out invisibly through the door of the house, past some guards, make it through the city, and our goal now is to meet up with the rest of the group just to make sure we can stick together. The rest of the group goes through a couple challenges throughout the tunnels that Jacob set up, which are some puzzles, I think there's a couple small fights that I have a fight with a rat and end up blowing myself up because who knew sewers had gas that was explosive, and that's exactly what happened to me. I used a flame spell and blew myself up, almost died. Tabitha and I, we got into the tunnels, and I kept trying to have conversations as Animas with the Baylor, and he wasn't giving me a lot of information because I was trying to buy myself some time so I wouldn't die. That night, I didn't want to kill Tabitha. I saw her as an ally at this point. We got into the tunnels, found the other guys. They had been sneaking around, getting away from some guards and moving around some of the class members. We met up with them. Tabitha all of a sudden started acting a little bit more sketchy. She wanted to blow up one of the entrances to a class entrance because she was told that they were supposed to do that every time they found it, even though Lochnar had been saying that our friends had just gone down that way. They ended up making it back out of the exit while I was talking to her to make sure that she wouldn't blow it up. Then the tunnels we led up to Mathis's house, who is Tabitha's kind of teacher or boss in a way. Mathis being one of the other government members. And we got into Mathis's house and we had a conversation with Tabitha. She said she was going to go check on our guild for us just to make sure no city guard were going there and arresting our guild members, which we only have 4 of as of right now. And then from there, Tabitha's on her way out. I sit down because I know that I am going to die that night. I have failed my attempt at taking Tabitha's soul, but the whole group kind of sits outside the door. Anzu goes invisible and sits inside with me. Brady, as a player, was not there for this time. He was on some personal stuff with a phone call, so he unfortunately wasn't part of this the end of this episode. But I had a conversation with the Baylor, and he came to me and he told me that Tabitha had actually been lying to us the whole time, and that she set us up for the murder of Grinsbale, and she was trying to just set us up overall. And basically, as I hear that, I turn into an eagle. I jump out the window and I start flying after her. And the rest of the group has begun a teleportation spell that Anzu has started as the class members are closing in on the house. So we now have the city guard and the class members on us for a crime we didn't commit. And then the class members on us because they're trying to just cover up the crime. And that's where we end that episode. So we end on a huge cliffhanger, arguably the biggest cliffhanger that we've had in the whole season. Whole chapter, I should say. So yeah, getting into the questions. Zach, what do you have first for us?
We'll start with Jacob as per usual. So we kind of see a few of the characters start gaining abilities from different classes, specifically like Thea and Animas, I know. Could you kind of explain what multiclassing is?
We can't hear you.
No.
Dang.
I can hear you there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay. Just have to talk really loud.
LOL.
Okay. Or I'll eat the mic, I guess. Okay, multiclassing. What is it? How does it work? What do you... Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, the long and short of it is you gain a level in class. However, what it really is I like to do multiclassing free. So, like, for example, Ron multiclasses fighter and primarily a...
You're cutting out again.
Hello? Why is my mic... Sorry.
I believe in you. Kinda, no.
Hello? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, that's
Just
gonna...
eat it. Eat the mic.
Okay, how does this sound?
That's okay. You can just finish the multiclassing, just yell for the multiclassing question,
Okay.
and we'll try to hold conversation after that.
I like to do it because of story, and multiclassing do as long as they reach requirements. So, like, certain intelligence scores, charisma scores, stuff like that.
Yeah, so to sum up some of the parts where Jacob cut out, multiclassing, you can take 2 different classes with the requirements that he was explaining, where you have to be at a certain level. Well, now we can hear everything, Jacob. I'm giving him a sec.
Better now?
There we go. Okay.
Hello?
But
All right. That's a lot better. All right. So to end that off,
Technology is fun.
as long as you meet requirements of what Jacob said, if you are like trying to multi-class as a druid, you would have to have a high enough wisdom already to be able to multi-class in. And as well as that, you do not get all of the benefits of the second class you're multi-classing into. You only get some of them. That way that you do not get overpowered in taking all of the benefits from both classes. So yeah. Zach.
Another one for Jacob, maybe. Can we get some more background on Tabitha?
No.
Okay.
Oh, rip.
Okay, yeah, you can. You can. I mean, basically, what she said her background was not a lie. That was 100% her background. She was an orphan, joined this secret organization that helps run the city a little bit, like a spy network, and she worked for Mathis. That is all 100% true. There are certain things that the party does not know that aren't necessarily about her specifically, but more in general, that they will hopefully figure out sooner or later.
Sooner or later.
Alright, so Brady, I got a question for you.
Alright.
I guess, well, before, like, do you guys have questions for Jacob before we get into that?
I always appreciate questions.
We've talked a lot about this outside of the streams, so I don't have many questions myself. And nothing that would really. I don't think I have any questions that would really give too much into the story yet. Maybe the recap next week where we go over the episode we just did this week and then next week's episode, so we will be fully caught up. I'll have a couple questions to explain the story a little more, but we'll wait for this kind of story arc to end as it is simmering down. So.
So, Brady, moving on to you. Can you kind of go into a little bit more detail about the conversation you had with Fraz in regards to how you react to Kayla or Animas's killing of Tabitha?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I was very confused as to what the point was. I think that we were just being hit against each other. I don't know. Fraz was kind of mysterious as always, and he doesn't always like to answer my questions when I do get a chance to pin him down and ask, and I'm not always one in position to really force much as far as gaining information. And since he's the source of Zaigon's powers, he can't really do a whole lot. He pretty much has to do his bidding. And I personally didn't really want to, obviously, like, kill Animas, and I didn't know at the time that Animas had to do something about Tabitha, like, as a sure thing yet. So from my understanding, it was really just kind of just like keep this random person that I assumed at the time to be just like a friend and as a part of the party, keep her alive. And as the story continued, it definitely did not turn into that. So it got more complicated for sure.
I did understand that as you could see through that episode. I did not want to kill Tabitha because I also trusted her as a friend of the party, and I also knew that Zaigon we had a conversation at the beginning of the episode about how I definitely needed to not kill her because he also was told to stop me if that happened. So I was going to accept my fate and die, but that did not happen because Tabitha turned out to be a filthy traitor.
Awesome. So I guess this one's for the group. Kind of what is everyone's general thoughts on the Fraz kind of Baylor dynamic going on here?
I don't want to talk too much about it because me and Verdi have been talking about our characters probably having a conversation soon about that. We don't script anything. Don't worry, guys. We're not talking about what we're going to talk about. But right before we started this, we were going over kind of the recap, and we were like, our characters probably need to have a conversation about this pretty soon because it's getting to a point now where it's going to start affecting the group. So, but we left it there.
Pit against each other.
Yeah. We've had small conversations so far, but it's definitely a very interesting and fun dynamic to play around with. So Jacob enjoys it because he gets to be the one who's pitting us against each other as two different types of demons. So
Yeah.
Never
And
have I ever done that.
LOL.
yeah, and I ultimately decided to just like in that episode have that conversation like with Animas, because that's kind of, I don't know, I felt like I just needed to be more upfront about it, because I feel like at the worst it would just, I don't know, the group is already expecting Zaigon to do some sketchy stuff, and I don't really want them to turn on me, and I feel like that's not too far away if I don't play my cards right.
It's hard when you have a demon controlling half the stuff. Like, the group could have easily turned on me if I killed Tabitha before we found out she was a traitor. So
Yeah, and in general, just like I figured, the more like upfront we are with each other, it might cause the demons to like panic a little more, and I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. We might. It definitely would increase our chances of survival to communicate a little more.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. Next week you guys will be hearing probably about the same conversation, because the episode we just did this Sunday, not to spoil too much, but me and Zaigon are both being taken in together under question. So
Spoilers, Caleb.
Little sus.
I didn't say it by who or for what or where. I just said we're being taken in for questions, but me and Zaigon are together, probably going to have some free time to talk. So
Nothing but time.
nothing but time.
That's all I got.
All right.
Wow, that was a quick one.
Yeah.
I love it when they're quick. I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So Zach, as a viewer,
Uh-oh.
how, I don't know how to ask this. What are your opinions on Tabitha's like character? So like, how did you kind of interpret her character?
So like I've had conversation with Caleb about kind of how I would have played Caleb's cards, given the situation that I knew.
After it had already happened, of course.
After it happened, yeah.
No one likes a Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think there was more to her than kind of what the characters were figuring out, and I'm very curious. Like that, my question about her backstory is more of a question for me, because I want to know more about her and how she kind of plays into Kayla or Animas's like list of people to figure out and all that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
I also thought it was interesting, just because like she seemed pretty dead set on trying to kill the group. So why would my character? I don't know. Why would Fraz really want to keep her alive if he wants me to do the bidding? I'm intrigued by Tabitha.
Yeah, we definitely don't know, because she had warlock spells. Of course, that does not limit her to being a warlock, but she definitely was using warlock spells, so she could have been multiclassing warlock, or she could have a feature that Jacob added where she had some spells. Me not knowing every single feature throughout all of D&D, but
Why don't you, Caleb? You're a D&D streamer. What the heck?
yeah, I mean, I stream D&D. I should know every question in D&D. But
Exactly.
yeah, that's a fun one. That is a fun conversation that we will probably get back to when Tabitha may or may not show back up, or her background shows back up, because we still have to talk to Mathis about her.
Right, and she's speaking Abyssal, like all sorts of questions.
Yeah, lots of weird stuff. But yeah, hopefully, well, going forward, this was our plan all along, was for recap shows to actually be about 20 minutes long, because it gives people the chance to just watch it without feeling like they need to sit down for a long period of time. So hopefully going forward, I'm able to just kind of like, I don't think I blabbered on too much about what happened in the episodes today, which usually it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to get through just explaining what happened in the episode, because I like to talk for too long. So cutting that down, and then just
self-aware.
Yeah, and all of us also, we're up to episodes where we have we just played them, so we're able to give a lot clearer answers instead of sitting here trying to like talk through the answers. So hopefully going forward we can give like very watchable and clear recap episodes that last up between 15 to 25 minutes going into our chapter 2 of the campaign. I think we're good for the night then, unless anyone else has anything else to say. But well, thank you guys so much for watching. This next week on the recap episode we will be completely caught up. We're doing 2 more episodes next week, which will be this week's episode and then next week's episode, and then we will be completely caught up, and then start working probably for a week or 2 on modifications for chapter 2. Jacob, of course, having some sort of ending to what chapter 1 will be. So once we get all that worked together, we will give a definite date. If you guys are watching this in the future, episode 2 is probably already out, and you can probably also see our full recap of chapter 1, which me and Jacob will also be working on in the next couple of weeks. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out our stream. The campaign is always on Sunday night at 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. around those times. We start around 6:15ish and then we end around 9:15ish, but we try to get on at around 6. And then also come back and watch our recap next week. Check us out on YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. See you guys next week.